All right, good evening. I'll call the October meeting of the Board of Education to order. Roll call, please.
Leo Thomasgard.
Yep.
Terry Hildebrandt, I am here. Dana Duncan.
Here.
John Dobbin.
Here.
Kathy McGrath.
Here.
All right. Consider approval of the agenda.
Moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried. Next item, report from student representatives and student and staff recognition.
Welcome, thank you
Alrighty.
for coming. We had 3 students here that they've known for a long time that they've been coming to speak, right?
Like 2 minutes ago.
Like the 5th hour, I grabbed all 3. So what happened was the student representative that we had, she's on a trip to Ethiopia.
Oh, Natalie.
And we just realized at the 5th hour, so I grabbed all 3 of these guys, and they were nice enough to report on each of their respective sports this
wonderful.
past fall. So I thank all 3 of them for coming on
Yes.
last minute.
Good evening, my name is Naomi Gruba, a senior at Fort Edwards. I am a member of the volleyball team. This year, we had around 30 girls throughout the 3 teams. We were 5-15 overall this season, but we did have to face the challenge of having a new head coach and 2 new assistant coaches. Our season ended last week on Tuesday at Augusta after a close back and forth battle, having to play all 5 games. I just want to thank everyone for coming out and supporting us all season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Carter Duran. I've been a part of the cross-country cross-country team for the past 2 years, and we are coached by Tim Miller. Since I joined, we started with 3 people last year, and for high school, and then 2 people for middle school, and we now have 6 people for high school and 6 people for middle school. So we are now considered a team by WIA rules. This is the first year, and I don't know how long, but the last 2 years I know we have not been able to qualify at conference or sectionals, but we did actually place. I don't know what, but we did place. And we are having successful meets and stuff because we have multiple PRs, and almost everyone set a new record for themselves at conference, and then we ended the season with sectionals.
Thank you. And you were great in the parade, all you folks.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brendan Beck, and I'm a senior football player at the high school, and I'm here tonight to talk about the football year. This year, we had 23 student athletes on our team. We welcomed a new assistant coach, Nick Campbell, who took over for Paul Liebert. We had a great year, highlighted by wins over Washburn, Wild Rose, Almond, Marion, Menominee, and Tri-County. And our 2 losses were close games to New Albert and Newman. We finished the year 7-2 and were crowned co-conference champs, our first since 2019. And we were one of the 16 8-man football teams who were picked for playoffs. Unfortunately, we lost to a very strong team. All in all, we had an outstanding year and secured 13 spots on the all-conference team, including 7 first team and a single second team player. We also swept the Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year awards, with Max Michaels taking home Offensive Player of the Year and myself Defensive Player of the Year. We want to thank all our fans and donors, Miss Emily Anderson and our pep band, Mr. Stampo, Mr. Bina, and for everyone else involved for helping us make this such a memorable year. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you,
That's
students.
fantastic. Congratulations on your seasons.
All of you.
Yes, all of you.
Any questions for the students?
I wish I had a couple, but I don't.
Well, you're free to leave unless you want to stay.
Thank you.
Enjoy the meeting.
Enjoy the
Thank you.
Exit stage left.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Well done.
All right, moving on, President's Report. All members are in attendance. Next item is reading of the National School Lunch Week proclamation. Whereas the School Nutrition Association has designated October 14th through 18th, 2024 as National School Lunch Week. And whereas since 1946, the National School Lunch Program has been offering nutritious meals to low-income families who might not otherwise have access to daily food. And whereas in Wisconsin, more than 800,000 children have daily access to the National School Lunch Program, which ensures they are nourished so they are ready to have equitable, transformative, and sustainable educational experiences. And whereas more than 70% of school food authorities participate in farm-to-school activities, including procuring local foods, providing agricultural and nutritional education, and growing school gardens. Funds spent on local foods for the National School Lunch Program supports Wisconsin communities, the growth of local supply chains, and strengthens the local economy. And whereas to promote more than that, the National School Lunch Program's crucial role in student health and success, during the second week of October, SNA members celebrate with special menus and events to boost student participation, inform parents, attract media attention, and connect with educators about the value of school meals. Therefore, I, Jill K. Underley, State Superintendent of Public Instruction, declare the week of October 14th through the 18th, 2024 as National School Lunch Week. And did we honor our school lunch members?
We have on social media, yes, we've thanked them.
Thank you in person,
Yes.
Mrs. Brightrick. I know you have added some wonderful things that I want to come over and have breakfast.
New breakfast items and several new lunch items this year. Dolores and her team here and Jenny and her team over there, they're bringing back some, I would say, old school favorites.
Yes.
Some casseroles
Yeah.
and things like that, and
Pizza burgers?
Yeah.
pizza burgers?
We need the old school pizza.
Not
burgers.
yet.
We need the real pizza burgers.
But our students are loving the new additions.
And are the numbers up with students
They are.
at lunch? That's what I thought.
We're serving close to 100 every day at the high school and 50 to 60 at the elementary school, so numbers are up for.
Yes,
That's because of the meals.
it is. It is.
Good,
Made
good,
with
good.
made with a lot of care,
Yes.
definitely.
I used to love school lunch. You'd understand if you ever had my mom's cooking.
Okay,
No,
fair enough.
I'm not joking.
Fair enough.
It's not a joke.
No,
All right, the next board meeting is November 13th.
well, we
Are we
Oh.
doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
we would like to change that.
Okay.
We do have a conflict on that date.
Okay.
Could we look at November 20th?
Sure, fine with me, the next Wednesday.
That way our two meetings are not quite so close together.
Okay,
Yeah.
Please show some down. Oh, that's fine.
And then we would look at going back to our normal schedule, our second Wednesday in
okay.
December.
Just as FYI, for any subsequent events, I will be out of state from the last Sunday of November until Tuesday, December 3rd, I believe. That's the week of Thanksgiving, since it's late this year.
Mhm.
We'll be in Washington DC with our daughter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Roasted tofu.
with that, we'll move on to administrative reports. Elementary principal report.
Good evening, everyone. A lot of good things are happening here at Hoyer Elementary School. The monthly Blackhawk Families Program will take place this Thursday, October 31st, here in the building. It will be led by our second grade team of Mrs. Wilhorn and Ms. Meisner. Our character theme that we'll be focusing on in our Blackhawk Families is responsibility. Responsibility has been our character trait during October. The annual People Fall Festival took place on Friday evening, October 18th. The elementary hosted 270 guests, students and their family members, so our halls were full. They enjoyed a spooky meal served by our food services team. Thank you very much again, Jenny and team, dressed up in costumes and serving a very nice meal to our families. Students and families played a variety of Halloween games, participated in face painting, a cakewalk, cookie decorating, and a haunted hallway. Thank you to all of our parent volunteers as well as our high school student council and National Honor Society students who volunteered. It would not have taken place without our volunteers. So a great community event. It was a lot of fun. Last Thursday, prior to our 3-day weekend, we had a professional development day. Students had a 4-day weekend, of course. On that professional development day, 4K through grade 5 teachers reviewed KEYS units 5 and 6 with a representative from CISA 5. KEYS is the program that we are utilizing to meet our Act 20 requirements. So we are now about 60% of the way done through the KEYS training. Their next training session will be units 7, 8, and 9, which will be reviewed on February 10th. So staff, including myself, has between now and February 10th to do units 7, 8, and 9. Circling back a little bit, units 5 and 6 that we covered on Thursday focus on vocabulary and fluency. And then finally, in conjunction with the Port Edwards Lions Club, PEPO, once again, will be hosting their first annual community bingo night from 6 to 8 o'clock here in the Ed Hoyer Elementary Gym. There are some flyers on the table, and there's a flyer on each of your tables as well. This is a fundraiser for PEPO. The Lions are sponsoring it. PEPO is supplying the snacks and refreshments, and all monies raised will be going to PEPO. Again, that is, let's see, that is on November 7th. Thank you. I was going to say November 8th. It's November 7th from 6 till 8. And the final PEPO event is Donuts with Grown-Ups. That is 1 week later, Friday, November 15th from 6:45 to 7:30 a.m. And you may think that we get a low turnout for that. We get a surprisingly very high turnout. A lot of people want to come and see school. At the end of the day, they don't have time to come in and see the school after their work day. They come in at 6:45, enjoy a donut, and they're able to see our wonderful school we have here. So that's Donuts with Grown-Ups on November 15th. Thank you.
Thank you. Next report, middle school, high school. Shane.
Good evening. Last week, we held our parent-teacher conferences on Wednesday nights. Well attended in the middle school, typically like always. And then our high school, I think it's because of our infinite campus. So there's so much communication online where parents know how the kids are doing in their classes. And I just feel like maybe we could serve those kids and the parents better. So on the professional development day, we actually had Sharon Egan from CISA come down, and she was going to present to us on library resources that our teachers could use. She got really sick and had to cancel. She was already up here, had to turn around and drive back to Portage. So we kind of pivoted and shifted, and we spent a lot of our afternoon talking about parent-teacher conferences. And next year, we're looking at maybe possibly doing some changes with that and doing more of a targeted conference. I would say old school team meetings where kids are struggling and we sit down with parents or guardians and we have 6 or 7 of their staff there to discuss and possibly replacing some of our parent-teacher conference hours like that, just so it would be more targeted and beneficial use of our time after school, so for our staff. Couple things that we have going on. As you can see, the 3 students, I just asked, I said, hey, you guys would never want to do this, would you? And all 3 of them instantly said, we gotcha. So that's what we have going on at the middle school and high school. Just some great kids. The vibe is great in the building, and things are going really well there. We have a super busy upcoming month and a half at our middle school, high school. Tuesday, November 12th, Jean Bruner and the Ecology Club are putting on their holiday meal. So she's already purchased the stuffing. There's a certain kind she likes, so she's had her daughter at different parts of the state picking up the stuffing and driving and getting it, bringing it back. Turkeys are going to start to get stored here too. So it's just a wonderful time. And this year, the Lions, Mr. Bean had also shared that the Lions were involved with helping sponsor part of that. So we did invite the Lions to the breakfast that morning too. So, and we hope to see you guys too. So that'll be Tuesday, November 12th.
What's the time on that? You know?
It's a noon lunch,
Starting
that's
at lunch.
Yeah, it's a
lunchtime, I
lunch
don't
time.
know if they have time there.
Maybe about a minute. We'll have Mrs. Bruner send invites to all of our board members.
And they're already coming out. I got mine.
Yeah.
So,
Alright.
yeah, so that's coming up. Mrs. Robishki and Mrs. Frizzell, our drama club advisors, they have been working hard on our play called $1 Million Meatballs. And that will be shown on November 15th and 16th. It's a Friday night and a Saturday afternoon. So if you get a chance, please make your way out to see one of those events. Kids are really working hard and they're excited. November 21st, right before Thanksgiving break, we have our middle school, high school band concert. That will take place again on November 21st. And then on November 25th, we have our middle school, high school choir concert. So quite a busy November. And then as soon as December turns, December 13th, we're also going to be having our senior citizen breakfast like we've had in the past too. So that'll be Friday, December 13th. So, and you'll get invites to all of those things. So we've got busy things going on at the school, learning taking place all over. I'm kind of initially getting done with the learning of some of the jobs, so I've been able to get out into the classrooms, and the stuff that we're doing and our staff are doing is remarkable in there. So.
Thank you, Shane.
Thank you.
Next up, district administrator report. Jim. Okay.
The third Friday of September student enrollment count, which we always keep an eye on and wait for, showed a slight decrease in student enrollment this year. Last year, our K-12, actually our 4K through 12 enrollment was 425. This year it is 413. So we're down about 12 students from last year.
Is that part of the difference with the senior class going out and the kindergarten class coming in? Were those numbers?
Primarily,
Yeah.
smaller classes coming in.
Yeah.
October 6th through the 12th was Wisconsin School Board Week. On behalf of all district employees, I'd like to say thank you to our board members for your time, your leadership, and your support that you give to our schools. Not always a thankful job, oftentimes a thankless job, and you're giving up evenings, giving up time, taking phone calls that are not always the most pleasant. So I would like to say thank you very much for your leadership and your service. Thank you. The annual flu clinic for district employees has been scheduled on Monday, November 4th. That's from 3:30 to 4:30 at the high school, I believe in the gym. Is it in the gym or cafeteria?
Cafeteria.
Cafeteria, okay. So as board members, if you'd like to attend, you're welcome to attend as well. November 4th, 3:30 to 4:30.
Is that flu, influenza only, not COVID?
I believe it's COVID also,
It is COVID, so you
I
get
believe
both if you want,
yes.
okay.
Did you already get
Wisconsin DPI school report cards for the 23-24 school year have been privately released. They are currently embargoed. We have been reviewing them as an admin team, and once they are made public, we will be sharing them with the board, going through a brief explanation of them, and they will be published on our school district website. On October 23rd, J&J Roofing and Contracting of Wisconsin Rapids did some roofing work on the shingles on our roofs at the ELC. They did the entire roof over there, and they did our little small elementary garage here as well. They both had some hail damage over the summer. So that was done by J&J Roofing and Contracting. Potential bidders for the new elementary gym floor for next summer were shown the facility on October 9th, and asbestos abatement companies will be visiting the elementary on October 29th to view the facility. And finally, our district curriculum leadership team led the morning portion of in-service this past Friday. The goal that was last Thursday. The goal for each content area on Thursday morning was to complete their pre-K through 12 scope and sequence. The complete 8-year curriculum planning process is coming together as a formalized plan and is scheduled to be presented to the board in April of 2025. So this upcoming April. Some of the bones were put together of the plan by Mrs. Stebbins-Hintz. She presented them to the curriculum leadership team. We've been working through each segment component of it, and it is an extensive, detailed 8-year plan for curriculum adoption, revision, textbook purchasing, that I would say there's been plans here before, nothing this comprehensive, nothing this thorough. This will be a very nice product that we can put on our website. Curriculum is under great scrutiny, as you may know. So if we come under scrutiny, we will have a very nice professional product to put up on our website. So again, that will be presented to the board for approval in April. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, questions or comments from people in attendance? Is there anyone that wishes to speak at this moment? Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Consider approval of the minutes of the past meeting of September 11th.
So, second.
The motion and the second discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Number 7, consider approval of financial reports. Any gifts?
Yes, we received another donation from Renaissance. They do an annual donation like we request last week, and so they donate $1,000 every year. Just to accelerate learning for all, and we are especially passionate about supporting the students in our local community. So again, it's like instead of going to them and asking for donations, they give us the same.
All right, with those gifts, is there a motion to approve financial reports?
So move. Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call.
Leo,
Aye.
Carrie, aye. Dana,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Kathy.
Aye.
Motion carried. No unfinished business tonight, so moving on to new business. Number 9, YMCA daycare update, Tracy Burrow.
Welcome Tracy and Erin from the YMCA.
Hello there. Thank you.
So I just wanted to come and just let you guys know where we're at as far as what we have going on in our classroom. We have 2 full-time children, one is in year 4K at this time, and we have 3 after-school children. We are still advertising, you guys are still advertising. We're just at a standstill as far as, kids, which I know is gonna cause a large invoice to be sent over to Jim. I sent it last week. That will cover the whole school year. The only thing that would change that is if we would get new enrollments. I do know that one of the children that is full-time is leaving in December. His mother actually teaches for me in Rapids, and he will be of age to come there, so he's coming over there. So, if anyone has any suggestions on how to drag some children in here, that'd be great.
We continue to advertise, like you said, Tracy. It's on our website, it's in our newsletter.
Yeah.
Short of running ads in the paper, and I don't know who reads paper anymore, people
Yeah, I
on
don't
social
know.
media, so it's on
Yeah.
our social media.
And I have people call and I tell them, we have options, because we're full in Rapids. I tell them we have options in Port. Yeah, that's a long drive. No, actually it's 7 minutes from Rapids, depending on where you come from.
Right?
It's really not that far.
If I lived in
You say
Appleton,
what?
it would be nothing.
Right, exactly.
It's a long drive?
Yeah, I've heard that from like a half a dozen people. That's a really long drive from Rapids. I don't know where, I live on the other side of Rapids and it didn't take me like
Yeah.
8-10 minutes to get here.
I know.
So,
I
Drive
think,
across Madison, it's 45 minutes.
oh yeah,
right? They have no idea what it's like to
Right.
drive across the town.
And people, oh my gosh, we're going.
I just feel because we were so late getting it all, I'm hoping that next year when they know about it and I just hope it'll make a difference.
I would agree. I think that I'm hoping that was part of the problem,
Right.
that our enrollment is so low, is that people had their plans already set for this upcoming school year. It took time to get the licensing, to get everything over here before we could really start putting some word out about it. We didn't put,
We had to be sure we could license it first, and
Right.
we had like 30 days.
Yeah.
Actually, we had 60 days. I had 30 to license it and 30 more to get kids in here. And by then it was already August and parents,
Right.
like you said, had
and their
already
plans.
had plans for what their kids were doing.
So what
You know.
was the participation and attendance in the program's components in previous years?
When we were in our port facility, we generally had about half of the 4K kids were in the childcare. So if we had, last school year, we had 14 kids, so we had 7 of them in the wraparound care, and then we had like 3 or 4 that were in full-time care. But those kids also went to 4K in Rapids. They didn't come to Port. So, you know, that kind of, or some of them went to Nakusa too, but
Okay. I guess as a corollary to this, I mean, this is an agenda item for a future meeting, but obviously contingent upon participation and attendance levels this year and in future years, I think we need to, at some point, relatively soon, at the November or December meetings, start taking a look at what our physical plant setup is. Is it working? It's obviously sufficient for what we have now. But if attendance improves, if kindergarten, first grade numbers go up, I guess my question is so that next spring and summer, we're not caught in the same mess we were in this year. If this is viable, if this is working, if the staff is appreciative and managing it, fine. If there are downsides to this, we need to be planning for that fiscally and structure-wise, you know, physical plant-wise,
Agreed.
way before we did this year.
We've had conversations in our leadership, you know, throughout the summer, what 25, 26 is going to look like in our school district as far as where grades are located, what makes best sense for this building and that building, staffing wise and everything that goes into that. And I believe we have a strong recommendation coming up in time. You know, we don't, you know, we're getting through the annual meeting and doing things, getting the start of the school year, but.
This is for future consideration.
Right.
I think we need to be looking at this sooner rather than later.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
and just to give you an idea, if you decide to keep the childcare here, if we had 7 full-time children, we would break even.
Right.
There would be no money paid.
Right.
But that room, the space that we have right now, sorry,
you
we are licensed in there, we can have up to 16 kids.
Okay,
That space that we have right now is licensed for 16 children.
okay.
So I mean, if in the event, say like, you needed a little bit more room for the kindergarten, but you wanted to keep it, and we only had 10 kids, we could shove that movable wall over and just, you know, downsize our square footage. There's a little bit of flexibility in that as well.
Good, that was part of my,
Because I know one year you have 500 kindergartners, the next year you have 12. I mean,
Right.
I get it, it's,
And we have had 3 kindergarten classes in that space.
Yeah.
I know.
Not anytime soon though.
And
But yeah, it's got the capacity. And
Yes.
we certainly walked.
yeah, the
around,
license
tape
is
measures.
flexible for
Right.
Yeah, we did the tape
size-wise.
measure this summer. We measured every square foot.
and the licensure is annual,
It's one license is good for 2 years.
it's a biannual.
Biannual, yes.
Every 2 years they come back and re-inspect and.
Yep.
Rest.
And you pay by what, and we pay by what we're licensed for. Like right now, we're licensed for up to 14.
Okay.
But the room is big enough that we can have up to 16. Just,
And next year won't be the equivalent of our boss coming at 4:30 and telling us we're working overtime at 5.
Agreed. Yes.
Amen. Thank you.
And I'm impressed with the room and
Thank you.
Miss Rachel, I've been in there and observed, and our 4K program, they're both just wonderful.
We have everything in place. We have a great facility. We've got everything planned with drop off. We have all the details in place. Now we need
we
kids.
just need the people.
We need
There's
kids.
supposedly a critical shortage of this type of,
There is a huge shortage of
And that's what I
child care
don't
centers.
where in the world are they?
There is a huge shortage of child care centers. Our wait list in Rapids is astronomical.
7.5 minutes away.
All the way to Port Edwards.
I know.
God forbid.
I know, right?
Maybe we could
Wow.
volunteer to show them, take them
Well,
for a
that
drive.
that is round trip, 15 minutes that you never get back again.
Would any of those?
It's a good book,
families-
Dana.
Would those families be interested in getting a slight discount if they brought their children here?
They already get a discount if they bring their children here compared to what you pay in Rapids.
Really? Even more of a discount? Give them an extra 10% off.
I will email out the list to the list again. I did it when we first opened and offered it to everyone on my list and
Wow.
So
Incentivize
what are these parents doing now? winging it?
grandparents, older siblings, they're taking it with them to Point because they're working in Point.
Gray Panther uprise. No more.
Wow. I guess I didn't realize, A, that we were in the hinterlands, and B, that this was so undesirable. I'm really,
I will guarantee if you have
I'm surprised.
20 people off of the street in Wisconsin Rapids who've lived here for more than 10 years and ask them where the Port Edwards, Wisconsin Rapids lines are, they could never tell you.
I bring driver's ed kids down here and drive around with them, and they're looking around like,
They're in a foreign country.
Yeah, they're like in a whole nother country. They have no idea.
it's like they're in Guam. Just like,
Yeah.
Which is.
I agree with you 100%. I don't get it. I travel back and forth to Port Nakusa all the time, and it's just, it's one big area to me.
Thank you for
Tracy.
thank you for trying. It's all we can do.
I will keep trying.
That's fine.
Of course, we want to be very transparent in all of this because we do know, I mean, just like, you know, the why we have to be very fiscally responsible with our dollars, we know that you guys have to as well. And so like when you see the dollars of the subsidy, it could be a little bit of a choker. And so this is where we just want to consistently be upfront with you with where we're at. And of course, Tracy's doing everything she can to get more kids here.
I
But
can
it's
tell you
just
right now, this is a twofold problem. One is the late nature of the change. And the
Yes.
second is that I will guarantee there are a lot of parents who think that this is gonna be a 1-year shot and then we're gonna go away. And so it's gonna take year 2 to show that we're committed to keeping the program here before they're gonna do anything.
Would it be helpful to put some video or pictures of the facility? Sounds, kids, of course, we
On a
don't wanna
flyer.
violate any kind of confidentiality
Oh, we
laws.
have media releases to put children's pictures anywhere we want.
When you send out the email, indicate you also are looking at people expressing interest for the program for the
Next.
2025-2026 school year,
Yep,
because the board is committed to continuing next year.
Right,
okay.
That could be some good messaging to put on flyers, letters. We are committed to this concept of a daycare in our school. We are committed to it.
Yep.
It's not going away.
Not after all the work I did to get it here.
No.
At least not for one more
Think of
year.
the advantages if you have 3 children of different young ages and putting them all at one place.
That's right.
Right.
Instead of driving all over the 15 minutes around town, picking them up from daycare or this grade school or this preschool.
Every morning there are so many moms and dads as they're dropping their 3rd grader off here, they're holding a little one or walking a 2-year-old next to them. So, and they're not coming to our daycare right now.
are there any staff making use of the facility?
Yes, one.
Okay.
No, she's not.
Oh, she what? Oh, she's in 4K. Thank you.
No, she's not. She's in Rapids.
Okay.
Because she has a 2-year-old in Rapids. So it's easier to have them both there.
Maybe next year. Her child is here.
Her kindergartner's here. Yes.
Kindergarten, sorry. But maybe
Yeah.
next year.
But he'll be 3 next year, so then he could come here next year.
Yes.
And then, yeah, so we have one for sure for next year. Lewis Bogdan.
Yes.
Okay.
So keep advertising, keep everything we're doing. Absolutely. And I agree. And I've heard that from a number of people. We can't give up because this year was tough due to the circumstances
Yeah.
handed to us.
Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's like with a new cafe or a restaurant, it takes you
Time.
you've got to get established and people have to get to know you. So
Yes.
we have to bite the bullet.
People wanna be secure in knowing what kind of care their kids are getting.
Yes.
And the biggest thing that hurt this year was the
Length of time.
disaster of the turnaround.
Yes.
So that's what we're reaping.
Yeah, I'm not taking responsibility for that.
No.
No,
I understand.
No,
You've been very responsive.
responsibility was laid at the feet of who was responsible.
right.
I
We can-
understand they're no longer there.
No, he's not.
That's, yeah,
What a shame.
that's what we heard.
Yeah.
But we're here and we're gonna fix it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
With
right.
you, we'll
Yeah.
work together, we'll get it done, it'll be even better, it'll be fine.
and can't we offer people, I mean, if they wanna come over and see this facility?
Oh yeah, we do
parents-
tours.
Okay, any of the parents on the list, because I just think we have a wonderful school and people
We do.
don't know from the outside what's inside.
Oh, no, absolutely not, I agree. You can't even imagine how it is in here when you're out there.
Right.
I agree.
Cause it's
Is
too far
there
away.
anything,
Stop it, John.
is there anything that, I'm assuming when the weather's good, that the kids in both of these programs get to go outside,
They go outside every day, twice a day, no matter what the weather is.
right? I mean, is there something that we could do outside? Could we get some, like I mentioned that stuff in back of the old Y that you said was not in
The
great
problem
shape.
with the stuff in the back of the old Y is it's cemented so far into the ground that nobody is willing to dig it out of there to bring it over here.
So could we,
I tried.
could we budget for or find money or use some donations or have a fundraiser to do something to make the exterior area for these small children more attractive, something separate from the regular playground, or, I mean, I don't know, I'm casting about for
We have money in
ideas.
Fund 80.
Trying to come up with something to make this attractive for kids.
Signage, more signage for parents too.
If we bought equipment, Fund 80,
Yes,
I mean, it is gonna be available then to the public when school's not in session.
it would be,
That's right.
just like the rest of the playground. Yes. Yeah, we could do that. Absolutely. Look into that.
Could you, yeah, just let us know what we have available for funding out of Fund 80.
Next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next meeting.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
sure.
So we are
Thank you.
committed for next year.
I'm hoping you do that.
definitely.
Absolutely. We're here.
We are, we
Yeah,
are.
that's right.
It takes some time sometimes to get things moving.
Takes a village.
Yeah.
It does. Thank you for coming.
I know, see, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Good night.
Yeah.
All right, item 10, consider approval of the co-curricular coaching positions. Hunter Hewitt, middle school boys basketball, and Jordan Griffith,
So moved.
middle school boys.
Second for both.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Consider approval of Start College Now applications.
Move approval.
Second?
8 of them, that's awesome.
Motion and a second, any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Next item, consider approval of early graduation.
Move approval.
Second?
Motion and a second, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is approved. Number 13, designate state education convention board delegate.
I nominate John Donovan.
Second.
Second?
All right, I'll do it again. Twist of my arm.
Yes.
While we're on that, just a thought, if you wanna let me know, our rooms,
Are
you
available.
did get them, I got our
Yeah.
rooms, we're good to go there.
Good to know.
And then I just need to know if, other than Carrie, if you are, because it opens opens Friday or
Right.
Friday for registration, so I'll get everyone registered, so I just need to know. 100% you're gonna go?
We're going,
and-
yep,
Okay,
barring a meteorite hit between now and then.
yeah, you can let me know by Friday if there's any change, otherwise I'll register everybody.
All right,
Thank you.
motion and a second for the delegate. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Strong.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
I don't remember strongly being in Roberts.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of yes or
I
no.
suppose we could add it, but
First reading of Neola policy updates.
I have a question.
Yes.
In reading through these, I got to the one on assistive technology and services revised, 7540.05.
Okay, I'm scrolling to it.
what in the world is Angel Sense? I've heard of a lot of
Yeah.
different AI type things, but I've not heard of this.
Angel
What are we
Sense,
talking about?
Angel Sense is advice that, and I believe I'm speaking to this accurately, oftentimes foster children will have. They have it with them at school to kind of track them, keep track of them, so foster parents can keep an eye on them, know they're not eloping and things like that. It also has a recording component to it, and it's been in the news over the last couple of years, and certain families were using it to record teachers teaching and record the activities in school. So what this is doing is, I believe it says it is disabling that function. It's not allowing them to use that function to record with Angel Sense.
Yeah, and how would we know that the device, this is on a cell phone app? Is that what this is?
I believe so.
Well, of course, in our case, if our phones are locked up, well, then that's less of an issue.
It's a moot point then. Yeah.
And if that also would go to any other devices that use Wi-Fi, you could shut it down through the IP address.
Okay. All right, thank you. I was just, I
Absolutely.
know what it was.
That's the first reading, so we don't have to do any action tonight.
Okay.
So next item, opportunity for individual board member comment. Kathy?
Just so proud of our 24 students and the 2 staff members that raked leaves and lawns for the Day of Caring. That's awesome. Volunteerism, if they get good at it when they're in high school, hopefully they'll be good volunteers when they are adults. And the band trip, the letter that you sent us from Liesel was awesome, and just so happy that our students have opportunities like that.
Shane, did you talk to Emily today?
Yeah. It's just a phenomenal experience. It's just like that's just part of the cool things that are going on.
Yes,
It's like
yes.
stuff like that.
And was that funded through PEEF grant or?
I believe
Yes.
that was
Yep.
that one.
That was a peak grant? I
What
thought it
was
was
it called?
music
and-
boosters.
Music
Or
boosters.
music?
that wasn't music and, what was it called?
Oh, music in the park was
That
one.
was earlier.
That was something else.
Earlier,
Yeah.
okay.
So I
then
think it
this
was
one
music
was
boosters.
boosters, yes.
Music boosters,
Okay,
yeah.
This
I mean,
was boosters.
whatever, whichever group sponsored it, good that we have them,
Yes, absolutely.
that's all.
Hey, yeah.
Well, periodically I have to think about this, which is that it's been approximately 36 years since I graduated from law school. And in those 36 years, I have been on church council, school board, village board, redevelopment authority for all but 3 years. Some of them double and triple duty. And I thought long and hard, and so I will announce tonight that I guess I can go 3 more years. So you will not need to give me any paperwork for.
Well, you still get paperwork.
All right, well, I will be
Sorry.
turning it in, so.
So you won't be, you will be turning it in.
You
No, I
You'll
will
have to
not.
sign
I will
it
be,
Thursday.
I will be continuing, or will run for reelection in April.
Right, so you'll have to fill out the
Yeah,
paperwork. Yes.
okay,
Okay.
It's hard to.
so.
Can I have 2?
So I just thought I would announce it. I debated long and hard. It's there's a time where you feel like, you know, maybe at some point you should step back and let somebody else step up to the plate. But then again, there's a quote from George Bernard Shaw where he talks about carrying the torch and having a life used up. And I guess I still have enough
Not used up.
flame on the torch and enough life to use up, so 3 more years isn't gonna kill me, I hope.
Carrie?
Always excellent to see the students in here, so very nice to hear all the great numbers and participation and the great success that all the teams had. Good to see cross country. This is, I don't know how many years is this that we have our own cross country? I know it was just a few
Just a
here.
few, 4 or 5?
think it's our fifth one.
Yeah, so it's good to see that we're finally getting to the point. And I know even that 5 years ago or 4 years ago, I think we were close to qualifying with a full team, or at least we had 4 or 5 runners.
My
And
kids
so,
ran cross country the whole time they were here in the 90s,
so it's really
It's been
good
here in the
to
past,
see
but
that
not recently.
coming back where we can support our own cross country people here.
It's Miller's fault, blame him.
When in doubt, blame Miller.
When in doubt, blame
So,
Miller. It's like that.
And great numbers with volleyball and football again, so that's great to see, and that's great that football has transitioned well into the 11-man. This has got to be like the 4th or 5th year for that as well, and now we're starting to really
They were going 6 or 7 years now.
6 or
We
7.
were one of the first
So
ones.
yeah, so it's
We're the conference guinea pig.
yeah, and I'm actually surprised that more of the state hasn't actually transitioned into the 8-man just because
I
of.
think there's some good news for that, for local travel, Brendan referenced we had to go to New Auburn, New Auburn, I think it is.
Yes.
We have to go to Alma Center and places like that to
Yep.
play regional or conference games. I've heard that Rosholt is strongly looking at going to 8-man. Assumption is strongly looking at going to 8-man. So we would have a very close regional conference here within a year or two.
Yeah, I would expect that those
Yeah.
numbers will continue to climb year after
Yeah.
year. And so, but it's good to see great participation in those sports, so. But
Are we, put that aside, just as a question, are we having any difficulty getting insurance to cover football?
No. Okay.
A lot of states, that's the,
Not in Wisconsin, not here. I have
Okay.
not heard of a district that's had an issue either.
that's
So
all.
that doesn't come down the road.
Leo.
First and foremost, and always, I would encourage those watching, those staff of the district, and those community members to please exercise your right to vote in this election. If you ever considered not voting, don't do that now. Vote for whoever you want, support your candidate of choice, do your homework, go into the polling places and inform constituent. But don't stay home. It's critical beyond any election I can ever recall. I want to thank Dana for his willingness to continue to serve. I told a former pastor at our church once, whenever you're looking for leadership in a group, you always have to be careful about standing up at the front of the meeting, the pastor in the pulpit, or the president of the Lions Club, or the PTA, or the Snowmobile Club, or the Scout Troop, and well, we need somebody to do this. And then in the back row is the hand waving from little Thurman Thudpucker, who should not be trusted with a package of Oreo cookies and a bottle of milk. And because you have asked for this help, then you're like, oh, okay, Thurman, what are we gonna do? Dana is an admirable level of community involvement and participation. He has served in so many ways in so many years, and you don't find people willing to do that anymore. So kudos, good job. Kathy, no pressure.
Well, I don't really have much, just, there's a lot of good events going on last month, and I'd like to encourage everyone to get out and view the events coming up. Based on the reports, there's a lot of good events coming up. Concerts, plays, bands, so. Be a good month coming up. That consideration of next is, establish future board meetings. We already did November.
November.
Twentieth.
November 20th. You want to do December?
It would be
Right on.
11th.
December 11th?
Yeah.
December 11th, okay. All right.
Alright.
With that, we'll consideration motion to adjourn into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Just closed session roll call.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Yeah, we have roll call to go to closed session.
Roll call?
yeah,
Typically, is it?
Yes, we do.
Is it?
yeah,
Yes, we do.
Is it?
Okay. Leo,
yeah,
Aye.
that's right.
Carrie, aye. Dana.
Aye.
John,
Aye,
Kathy.
Aye.
we are in closed session.
Maybe it's my age, but I don't
Back.
recall.
Sorry, she has a-
Oh,
in the back.
6:30.